Yearly traditions have been celebrated throughout the course of human history. Christmas, Eid, Hanukkah, Halloween, birthdays, and yes, even my overwhelming temptation to go full Tom Selleck mustache in November. But no matter the change in season or weather, one thing can be certain to arrive. Taxes. Nobody loves this concept more than Mr. Chansiri of Sheffield Wednesday, it seems, because once again, he's seen fit to not pay them. Meaning that once again, much like 1 year ago, we're in a transfer embargo. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, to yet another sporadic video by myself about the club I have such a toxic relationship with, it might as well be a primetime feature on EastEnders.
Sorry, Gron. I'm sorry.
And yes, I will one day learn to have a stable upload schedule, but for the moment, you can expect randomly timed insightful injections into your YouTube timeline. And of course, if you like it around here and want to know when the next insightful drop of wisdom from yours truly is coming, hit that subscribe button and ding-dong that bell so that you know when an upload happens and never need to miss another one, whenever it does actually turn up. But the discussion you've all been waiting for, the embargo. And once again, the blame for it has fallen on this wonderful little thing called Cashflow. Cashflow, like the endless stream of it to those with lots of it, seems to never flow smoothly into Sheffield Wednesday, does it, really? Be it from sponsorships that apparently can only say the word Chansiri rather than carrying any sort of commercial weight with fans or with deep pockets to support the club. Things never seem to go smoothly with having the money available to make that all-important payment to HMRC so that the club can continue to operate as a business on UK soil. Naturally, as a fan who doesn't have any ownership in the club, how dare I make those criticisms about anyone who does? It's not like I've been supporting the club, no matter the owner, since I was 4 years old, coming from a long familial line of Wednesday supporters that go back since the early 20th century, but because I'm not a billionaire, I don't have any idea what I'm talking about with the club, and I should just, stay in my lane seems to be the general consensus around all of this stuff. It's not like I work in a sector of freelance where marketing myself to potential sponsorships, employers, casting directors is my all-consuming thought process on a daily basis. So no. I totally won't have a clue about how sponsorships could potentially come my way and how to market something as a ideal thing to sponsor, to provide, cash flow. But no. I'm not part of the club owner demographic, so anything I have to say is moot. And frankly, anyone else on social media or that's a content creator that has any sort of input into what should happen, anything that they say is apparently moot as well. They no idea what they're talking about. But if I did have some idea of what to do, Dan naming rights for XYZ amount per season. Done. The roof advertising boards that actually should have adverts on them rather than just saying Chansiri and SWFC.co.uk. Put adverts on them. Shirt sponsorships. Actual established shirt sponsorships that aren't just the owner's name and actually provide some sort of income that can help with transfer fees and all sorts of things. None of these alleged antics, and I say alleged, remember, allegedly upping of the asking price right at the last second, that you're allegedly about to sign off on deals with allegedly potential big sponsors who then pull out, and that doesn't then happen. And because of this process of allegedly pulling out of deals at the last second or upping the asking price at the last second, allegedly, this may damage the reputation of the club in a commercial capacity. Therefore, people won't want to sponsor us and, provide sponsorship income going forwards. Oh no, that means that the incoming cash flow from sponsorship income, oh my god, it's going to be diminished. But, actually following through on agreed deals that you've already pretty much agreed, rather than just upping the asking price at the point of the handshake and the signing off and the dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Maybe if you just stick to the deal that you've agreed and then allegedly, carry out those deals, maybe that these vital cash issues and hiccups in terms of getting sponsors, that won't happen going forwards. Wait. You mean to tell me that because Stan, aged 73 from Chapeltown, has written a letter to a supporters trust group saying that he doesn't like the idea of naming the stands, or, that he doesn't like the idea of naming the stands for sponsorship income, that means that you're just not going to do it. You're just not going to do it because you'd rather risk future sanctions from official bodies of football governance, which therefore would tarnish the club's reputation even further, or because you don't want to invoke the wrath of one member from a supporters trust group, allegedly. And not to mention that the vastly underfunded and under-assisted media team are now missing out on so many opportunities to offer a high standard of service to potential sponsors by doing adverts, by doing interesting content that people can engage with on a regular basis. But no, instead of this, it's just got to stick to, all people want to see is just player and staff interviews, and we're gonna get in someone to do which again is really cool, but it's not very regular. The cinematic experience of the inside match days or inside training, and that's it. That's all we want to do. We don't want to do anything else that actually could, as has been evidently shown by so many people out there, bring in a massive income from the media side. Because, YouTube and social media totally isn't taking off in a way that massive corporations are now getting involved and actually earning so much money from this platform. No. We're not going to assist our media team so that they can help get involved in all of that side of things because, that's not a relevant way of getting cash flow, is it? Apparently. No. That's fine. We're just going to skip out on all of that. It doesn't matter that other football clubs are indeed getting involved in that and are doing so well. Yes, sure, Wrexham, big example to make, and yes, they have owners who literally own media production companies. However, if you look at their example of the social media posts, of the adverts that they do for their sponsors that they've got, if you look at other clubs and what they're doing with adverts for the sponsors they've got, it frankly makes ours look pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. The only way, because of the lack of support that the media team has received over the years, even under Milan Mandaric, I'm not just saying this is Chansiri, but under Milan Mandaric, the only time that Sheffield Wednesday have been media leaders, true leaders in this field, was when they joined Twitter in May 2007. They were one of the first to do it. You know what we've not been first in doing? Literally anything else since then. And of course, naturally, the biggest way that all of this weight, this sheer stress, sleepless nights, all of it can be relieved is finding a little something called, investors. Sick and tired of having to pay those pesky little crucial tax bills every year? No matter! You would have fellow investors to share this burden. Not sure about where to find suitable sponsors that can bring in reasonable amounts of money so that the fans do not take on the financial brunt of the club income? That's fine! You would have fellow investors to use their potential connections to find real great lucrative sponsorships. Don't have enough money to upgrade those pesky little training facilities that are at least 30 years out of date and far too small to sustain both first team and academy teams? No problem! You would have fellow investors to share in this burden financially and logistically! Sick and tired of that pesky little problem of a stadium that looks like it's on the brink of falling apart and hasn't been particularly modern since the 1970s? No problem! You would have fellow investors! You get the point. Get the point. There are so many things you could be doing to prevent this from occurring again in the future, but as all things, a alleged fear in your pride being damaged or your image being damaged in the act of asking for help or accepting advice from someone that isn't on your already little inner sanctum of yes men, that all of that is preventing the club from moving forwards in a meaningful way. Because no, if you do ask for help, if you do ask for assistance, if you actually say, you know what, that's a really great idea, I'm going to change the way that I've approached a certain aspect of this club because of this advice I've been given, you would be praised for that. So that wouldn't be a slight on your image. It wouldn't damage anything about you. It would actually win over so many fans. Wouldn't remotely have a negative impact. It would be nothing but positive. And frankly, with the last couple of years and the events of us being in national news because of transfer embargoes and points deductions and everything under the sun, it's a win-win. It's a no-brainer. I can't believe that sort of thing hasn't been done. And yes, I'm also very aware that an embargo between transfer windows is not much of a deal from a footballing perspective. It's no big deal because we can't sign anyone other than free agents. But if these infractions continue on a habitual basis, then grave consequences like points deductions, like vast fines that are greater than the club or Mr. Chansiri can pay, they might occur. They might be given to us because why are you failing on a routinely basis to do one of the most crucial things as a business in the UK, which is paying your tax bill to HMRC? That can't continue. That will get noticed by the EFL, and then even after that point, if it continues even after a stage like that, it will get noticed by HMRC themselves. And so a lot of the fans now have lived through a time when we were worried that the club might get wound up completely. It might not have existed anymore if it wasn't for Milan Mandaric, who then came and bought us and saved us from extinction. And none of us want that again. None of us want that to happen again. But making a habit of things like this, and then making a habit of not solving the cash flow issues and just carrying on like, oh, it's fine, we've survived until this point, we've kept on doing this exact same strategy until this point, it's fine, we were late with tax bills, what does it matter? All of that could lead up to us being in a very bad place. And none of us want that. No one. We are all celebrating the job that Danny and his team are doing on the pitch. So why are we now taking actions that could potentially hamper all of that in January, for example, if it's not paid by that transfer window? Why are we allowing these apparent, other parties, whoever they may be, to just owe you money and then you being dependent on that income? Why is that happening? Why can't we have these other routes into the club that are providing sustainable cash flow so that events like this don't catch us so off guard? Why are we not having this level of safeguarding the ability to pay for things like the HMRC tax bill and whatever else? Because frankly, it's embarrassing. It feels embarrassing yes, we don't own the club. We're not really seeing any sort of impact on our own reputations or anything like that. But why? It's embarrassing when all of us are so proud of this club, and I'm sure even Mr. Chansiri himself is so proud of the fact that he owns a historic club like Sheffield Wednesday. But it's so embarrassing when things like this keep happening, when we can't just be in the news solely for being praised for events like the comeback of the century that we had a couple of years ago, the survival of the century, when everyone had written us off, and then there we were, because of Danny Röhl and the job that he'd done. Why can't we just have this stability going forwards, where things like this won't happen? And yes, I know, I'm getting very heated about all of this, and it's probably going to get resolved at some point, whenever the cash flow is unjammed, or whatever the hell the term would be. But it's just embarrassing, because the club deserves better. The club deserves so much better than to be just treated like this chaotic mess. It's been around for almost 200 years. And now, all of this keeps happening to it. And it's not fair. This club is older than anyone alive right now. That anyone that has anything to do with Sheffield Wednesday, it's double their age. How can something so historic like this be just operated in this chaotic mess that it's currently in, with how it's being organised at the top level? How? Because amazing things like having Danny Röhl at the club and guiding this club to future glories like he clearly is, it can't happen when this sort of organisation's being done behind the scenes. It can't happen, because sooner or later, these really talented staff, these really talented players are going to sod off because they're fed up with all of this sort of thing being done behind the scenes of the club because of the chaos. They would want to go somewhere where they know they can flourish and work and not have to worry about, oh no, we've not been paid. Oh no, they shouldn't have to worry about this. The fans of this club that have loved it for decades shouldn't have to worry about this. shouldn't have to worry about potential future implications of habitual things like not paying for the tax bill. Please, dear God, this needs to be solved. This needs to be stopped. This sort of malpractice of shirking duties that are so vital, like paying the tax bill. As a business in the UK, if you habitually don't pay your taxes, you get wound up. And I don't want a club that I've loved since I was 4 years old to be wound up because of chaotic organisation. Well, that's all I've got to say about that one.